So, for as long as me and my wife have been married, she's wanted a motorcycle. Now, a couple years ago, my dad, being the generous guy that he is, sold her this old Honda Trail 110 for $20. Anyway, a few months ago, we took it to my buddy Mike Hershey, who's a mechanic down here, and he's been working on this bike probably day and night, getting it running, and now we're gonna go pick it up. We're gonna put my wife on a motorcycle for the first time today and see how she does with it. It's gonna be fun. It's a really like a user-friendly bike. It's really easy to ride. It's great for beginners, so it shouldn't have any issues, but it's definitely gonna be a good time.
Take my hat off.
You're goofy.
You're gonna make it.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna post this baby, yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna film the whole experience. She's never ridden a motorcycle before, and we're gonna show everybody her first try at it.
You wanna clean the carb? You wanna take something apart?
This is how you know that you're at the right repair shop. And there's big deer, little $230 here and there. No big deal.
We get really good at it, but whoa!
It's fully loaded now.
Okay. Dang, you made a lap.
Good job. Say high five, Mom.
This is really hot.
Well, so far she's doing really good. I won't say I'm disappointed. I mean, I didn't want her to crash and hurt herself or anything like that, but could have made for some better video. Anyway, she's getting the hang of it. She's putting around the neighborhood now, so I guess next week she'll probably do Supercross. So what percentage of these start off in my truck? 80? 112? I don't know. All I do know is the reason that they do is because this is the first place that it crosses my mind that I should be filming every single time. I'm gonna go hit a deer spot. And then at 4, I'm gonna meet up with my buddy T. Roy Bettinson, the one and only, and we're gonna go head west a couple hours and we're gonna look for elk. I need to spend most of my time this time of year looking for bulls because the scouting process is so important. I'm gonna pull out in front of this dude and get creamed. Heading up the road. I lived my whole life in this truck, seems like. Here's a little tip for how to stay motivated when you're shed hunting. If you're not finding anything, it can get a little tough. What I like to do is I tell myself when I leave the truck, okay, you can't have a snack until you have 3 sheds on your pack. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. And then I'll start hiking, but usually as I hike, I'll start downgrading the number because I'll get hungry. And then I'll be like, okay, 2 sheds, 1 shed. Then after a while, it gets pretty basic. After a while, I'm like, okay, you can't have a snack until you see a deer track. And that's where I usually end up 100 yards away from the truck, eating snacks. Haven't seen a thing. The deer haven't really pulled in here this year. There's not really any tracks. This has been a really light snow year, so I think that has a lot to do with why they're not here right now. They usually only pull down into this stuff when winter hits really hard. It's just very few deer in here, and usually I'll pick up a handful of whites, but it looks like it's been getting picked over. All the people on social media ruining shed hunting, telling everybody about it. I wish they'd knock it off. I spent so much time behind these bad boys, but you gotta do it. You can earn them with these just as much as you can with your feet. One trick to remember, always look through them the right way. Every time I look through them the opposite way, it looks like the sheds are really far away and I get really disheartened and I don't end up going to pick them up. Vortex, I think you make a great product, but if you guys could find, you know, something to help a guy out, like maybe an arrow on the front that says, look this way. Well, looks like the coyote been out here pushing the deer around. Man, they got no respect for these animals when they're on their winter range. Probably trying to make that little fawn shed. Well, I got my freaking butt kicked. I didn't find a shed in 8 miles. So I'm gonna go drown my sorrows of not finding sheds and some cheap Chinese food. So I went to town, I grabbed my buddy Troy, and we headed out to Nevada. We're gonna go check on an elk spot out here in the morning. Mostly wanted to sleep out. The weather's been so good out here. I mean, right now it's like 7:30 at night and it's like 55 degrees or something like that, so it's nice. So we're cruising down the road. It's the middle of the night. It's 8:30. You know, most normal people are in bed right now, but we're diehards, so we're cruising. We came out here to a spot, and about halfway to that spot, we changed our mind. And the reason we changed our mind is because me and Troy are talking about this. We tend to get stuck in patterns. I just killed a rabbit. Oh, we did. Got him. Dead. Squished. Anyway, we tend to get stuck in patterns when we hunt and when we shed hunt. We do this crazy thing. I know I do. Troy, right? You do it too? Oh, for sure. Like, I'll go back to the same shed spot 30 times because one time I found a shed there. And like, I'll get so ridiculous about it. I'll walk to the exact same spot where I found that shed and check and see if there's another shed. Obviously, like, not the same year, but like, success, when you have success, I feel like it just like validates you so much that you think that that's the way you always have to do things and go back to that same spot. So we're saying screw that on this trip. We're branching out. What do you think, Troy? Tell us about it.
Well,
don't freeze up.
I'm freezing
Troy
up.
gets super frozen on camera.
I'm so.
Here.
I just wanted to say that I love you, Mom.
Oh.
No, that's not what I'm supposed to say.
Your mom watches my channel.
Dang it. I love Mom. I'll just. Anyways, I'm so stuck in my patterns of freezing up.
We ran into a detour of sorts. So, being the generous Good Samaritans that we are, we saw this truck on the side of the road with its flashers on. It was a Ford, so we knew probably got some issues. Pulled over and we met our pal Morgan, who has now left the vehicle. We didn't film him because I didn't want to look like a weirdo. Anyway, we drove him to a small town that had a hotel. He's on a work trip, his truck's broken down, so we took him into this little town. There's one hotel, there's one car in the parking lot, and it says no vacancy.
Actually, it was an hotel.
Oh yeah, hotel. The H was burned out. 0 vacancy, right? Except for there's nobody there. Nobody in the front office. The office is only open till 8. Nobody calls when you answer the phone, so we're like, well, all right, buckle up, Morgan, we're headed for Ely. So, I mean, we're headed for a different town. I don't care, we're in Ely. And we dropped him off here in a different hotel. So now we're nowhere near where we were gonna go shed hunting, like 100+ miles from where we were gonna go shed hunting. So we're gonna reevaluate. Troy's reading the ingredients on his fruit bar. What we got in here? Mountain Dews, Chobanis, Pepsis, Rockstars, hot dogs. Mmm. We be hiking. I wanna hike it with you. Hiking, and I hope you like hiking too. That's a Bob Marley song I wrote. Some things we're gonna keep an eye out for today. Last time I was here, which has been over a 1.5 years ago, and I wasn't even right here, I was over there. I lost my hoodie. It fell off of my pack, and I never wanted to go back and find it because I was tired. Also sheds. Got a pretty fresh deadhead right here. Whoa, yeah, that's fresh. Yeah, that's probably like last year's maybe. But look, oh my gosh, he's got a ton of, he was a big deer at some point in his life. And in death, he's still big. Oh no, I broke his one side off. Oh no, I dropped my phone. Things are just going terribly. So I decided to sit down and glass. For you guys who don't know, the benefits of glassing off of a tripod are insane. You can see so much more. So I was sitting here glassing. I looked up on the hill and I thought I glassed up a brown elk shed. 100% the right color, the right shape and everything. I'm like, holy cow, that's like a month earlier than I've ever seen an elk drop. And then it turned its head and looked at me. And I realized it's still connected to the bull. And I started looking around and glassing, and all of a sudden that bull stood up and another bull stood up, and then 8 more bulls, so, well, 8 bulls total, stood up on the hill. But there's always a herd of bulls that hangs in here. I've never been able to figure out where they're dropping. I always just pick one up here and there. So that's good information, that's good to know. Woo! Lots of miles today, guys, for nothing. Troy called me on the radio, said he picked up an elk shed a minute ago, and I just found another deadhead, another super old one. Apparently there were some deer getting killed in this area at some point in time, but anyway, Mother Nature, she sure can be cruel. That's what it's all about. This kind of tastes like the ground, because that's where it fell a minute ago. Troy found horns. Dang, bro. Tragedy strikes.
I'm sorry.
Our life.
You don't have to tell the whole world.
Our life is in shambles. Troy, the dirty dog, face crushing me today. This bull's got good length. Turn him sideways, let's see them things. That's a pretty bull, man. So Troy's coming down the hill with that thing. I'm all excited and happy. He just picked him up on the top of the ridge right there. Come around the corner, bam, on the board finally. That's a big heavy bull. And we got like 5 minutes of daylight left. We're gonna go. We gotta match this sucker up right now before it gets dark. Let's do it. Gonna haul some butt, let's do this. Boom! Don't stop believing. You guys, don't give up. Don't give up. When you're tired and it's late and you don't want to climb that last hill, don't give up. That's why right there. We didn't give up. We went up one more little hill, cashed in, turning a pretty poor trip into a pretty good trip. So thank you guys for following along. I appreciate you guys watching these videos with me and old Troy boy here. If you guys would do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna do everything I can to keep the good content coming. And I'm gonna be making a lot of these. So subscribe, like, all that stuff, all that jazz, you know, I'm just begging for it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Ba-dun-dun.